has been a while since we've done this, and I'm back by popular demand. I wanted to bring back some coffee talk. So this is our cozy coffee talk stream. Hopefully I can keep this up. Bear with me while I adjust to my new life schedule and everything going on. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh, I don't even know which game I saved on. I think it must be this one because this is the most furthest along. I don't even remember like where I left off. I just remember when I used to record these, I used to be so sleepy because I'd record them at like midnight when the house was really quiet and I didn't have to do anything, and I had no obligations because it was the middle of the night. So I'm excited to bring this series back. Hopefully with a less sleepy version of me. Welcome. Oh, it's you. Hey, Amy, how's the night so far? It's calm as usual. We've got a slight problem, though. Huh? What happened? My supplier made some logistical errors. I don't have half my ingredients today. Man, that's a bummer. Don't worry. I can still serve the caffeine you desperately need. That's good to hear. Anyway, let me set things up first. You're our first customer, after all. Don't worry, take your time. I'm a writer, not an editor. So I'm used to taking things slow. Writer's block again? You got that right. What are you writing now? Do you remember my plan to... Pardon the interruption. The machine is ready. Do you want your triple shot espresso now? Yes, please. And if you forget how to make it, just check your phone, okay? Anyway, I really need that triple shot espresso. I mean, it's a triple shot espresso, so it's just coffee, right, guys? I guess I should check my phone for the ingredients list, but I'm gonna assume this is correct. 1 cup of triple shot espresso. Special for my only customer tonight. That aroma. Exactly what I need. Anyway, where were we? Your plan to do something? Yes, that. It's not that I hate writing stories for the newspaper, but it seems like the right time for something bigger. So, a novel? Yes. It sounded so simple when I was making the plan. At least you still have your job, in case things go awry. Did I say something wrong? No, you're right. You said something I should have thought about myself. What are you talking about? You know who owns the Evening Whispers? GRA Media, right? Yes. And they are the biggest book publisher in the country. So when an opportunity presented itself, I took it. What do you mean by opportunity? Well, I bumped into one of the big guys in the elevator, so naturally I pitched my book idea. Oh no. Come on, don't look at me like that. Are you for real? Yeah, I know. It was such a stupid thing to do. So how did they react? Thankfully. He'd seen my short stories, so he challenged me. If I can get a draft ready in a month, he'll pull some strings and get the fiction publishing division to sign me up for a publishing deal. That sounds great. What about your job at the Evening Whispers? Do you have time to do both? That's the hard part. I've been secretly working on the novel during office hours, and I'm falling behind on the newspaper's deadlines. If the chief finds out, she'll probably kick me out. Ouch. Well, at least you've got a month to finish the initial draft. That was last week. Again, don't look at me like that. How far along are you? I assume the number of words you have written is not too far from 0? Hey, that's rude. I've written some stuff, you know. May I see it? Well, it was so bad that, well, after reading it, I decided to just delete everything immediately. So, 0? Yeah. I really need to finish it in, at most, 2 weeks. Then I'll use the extra week to polish and do editing. Sounds like a plan. If you can pull it off. I know. You don't need to be so cynical about it. That's why I'm here today. I'm hoping to find some inspiration. I wrote some of my best short stories here, you know. Really? Glad this place could be of service. Oh, it looks like someone's coming. Welcome. Hi there. Hello. Good evening. For here, miss? Yes, please. I'm not really sure what to order, though. What do you recommend? That depends highly on your mood. I'm just here to meet my boyfriend. Not planning to be awake all night. So definitely no coffee. How about something chocolatey? It's perfect for this weather. That's a good idea, actually. Thank you. I think I've done this before. Hold on. I've definitely done this before. Why did we start all the way at the beginning here? We need to be, like, here. Okay, rough start, you guys. It's fine. We'll continue onward. Still cozy. Still coffee talk. We've already talked to that girl, and the last we left off, I believe her and her boyfriend were thinking about splitting up because their parents didn't disagree, and she didn't want to be the reason why her boyfriend left and estranged his entire family. Coachella organizer reminds parents not to allow their children to attend unsupervised. Okay, this is better. Sorry, we're not open yet. Oh, Neil, you've come very early today. Is there anything I can help you with? There's definitely something you can do. What is it? Can we work here? Excuse me? What? Is it possible for us to work here? Why? We have learned something precious since communication is very important on Earth, and Earthlings communicate in a very complicated way. It blows our mind to learn that you need to mix between verbal and nonverbal communication here. Yes, but I can see that your communication skill has improved an awful lot since you arrived. That is true, but it is not enough. Some of the biggest lessons about Earthlings we learned them here. This made us think. Instead of focusing on finding a breeding partner, we should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Sounds like a good strategy. That is why we ask you to allow us to work here. Because you want to interact with our customers? That is correct. I'm not sure about this. Neil, normally if you're applying for a job on Earth, you have to go through certain processes before you can finally get the job. If you get it at all. Oh. Let me think this over if you don't mind. And I'll let you know tomorrow. Oh no. We are sorry for our spontaneity, but it has to be today. May I know why? Because we are leaving for an event tomorrow. Okay. Don't do it. Okay. Thank you. But with one condition, you won't be making any drinks. I'll handle that. Once I'm done, you will give the cup to the customer. Understood. There are other things you need to keep in mind. What is that? Dealing with the customers. Some people come here just to chill. They might just come for a drink, work, or to read something. I strongly suggest you let them be. But always be prepared if they want to talk about anything. How can we know whether people want to be left alone or not? That won't be easy, but you'll be able to judge based on their body language. Nonverbal signs? Yes. That will be very hard for us. Indeed. Don't worry. I'll give you a sign. When you should start talking or when you should stop. Thank you. We will need that so much. Well, that's basically all you need to do here. Do we need a special outfit to do the job? Not really. I'll lend you an apron, though, to help keep your suit clean and to differentiate you from the customers. You don't really need more differentiation, but it will make you look more legit for the job. That's a very earthling thing to do. It is. All right, then. Are you ready for this? We are. Okay, let's start the night. I think it's cute that his name is Neil and he's in a spacesuit and basically he's like Neil Armstrong. Welcome! Holy wow! What the hell is happening? Good evening, Miss Freya. Hey, Amy, what's going on here? Well, Neil is working here tonight. And I thought I was the one who brought bad news. I never thought this place would be ground zero for an alien invasion. It's not that. Neil is just helping out. You've never looked like someone who needs help. There are a few things to clarify, Miss Freya. First, our mission was never about conquering Earth. In fact, it is the other way around. Second, judging from the situation, we are actually the person who is getting help from the barista, not the other way around. What? We have learned some things since we arrived, and we came to the conclusion before starting another breeding mission. We should learn more about how Earthlings communicate. We thought this place was the best place to learn. And you just agreed to this? On one condition. I make the drinks. Neil will only be here to serve and communicate. Fair trade. What's in it for you, then? What? You're helping them here. What do you get in return? Now that you mention it, if there's anything you want from us, please do not hesitate to ask. Don't mention it. Well, maybe you can be my next story. I can write an article about your work here. Freya, if I still need to write for the paper again. What happened? The chief found out. Oh. Is that why you didn't come yesterday? Yes. How did she find out? You remember my fateful meeting with the higher-up? In the elevator? Yes. The same thing happened with my chief. They met each other in the lift, and the higher-up mentioned our encounter to her. The chief called me into her office. Oh no. And things went downhill from there. She realized immediately that it was the reason for my poor performance lately. She didn't like it, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you gonna do now? Write the goddamn novel, I guess. And after that? Hope that it sells well. If not, I don't know. We do not understand what is really happening, Miss Freya, but we feel the immense sadness and frustration you feel. How about a warm cup of drink? It is on the house. Huh? You allowed to do that? We will pay for the drink. No, it's okay. It's on the house. That was a nice thing to do, Neil. That was the best thing to do according to our senses. It was. So, what do you want to drink, Miss Freya? Your favorite. Our favorite. Anything. I trust you with the decision. What is Neil's favorite? Friends only, close friends only. How do I know? I don't know what Neil's favorite is. What is Neil's favorite? I don't even remember the last drink he did. How do you know? Brew pad. Does it say? What does Neil usually get? Taterak, maybe? Evening whispers. No. This is our music. It literally doesn't say. How can we know what he likes? What does he usually get? Espresso? Ginger latte? He's a spaceman. I'm gonna do Taterak, which is tea, and milk. I've decided. Here's your drink, especially crafted by the owner of this coffee shop. Well, who else is gonna brew it? Thank you so much for this. I always wondered why your place only served hot drinks, but today I might have an idea why. How far along are you with the novel? I can prepare the draft in a few days, I think. Now that I don't really need to care about other deadlines. And if I manage to infuse some coffee and creativity into my blood? That sounds doable, even without the caffeine infusion. Excuse me, Miss Freya. We have learned extensively about Earthlings' bodies, about all the races, and we do not think infusing your blood with coffee would be advisable. I'm sorry, Neil. I'm not really in the mood for this sort of conversation. It was just... Neil? Freya wasn't serious about infusing herself with coffee. Oh. We are glad to hear that, then. That was a figure of speech, Neil. Ah, we have heard about that term. It is still very hard to understand your language. It will always be hard. Languages keep on changing. Understood. At least we are here now to learn the basics of how Earthlings communicate. Miss Freya, if we may ask away. How fast do you write? Not fast enough, apparently. But do you have numbers? Numbers? How many words do you produce per day? I don't think I have the exact number, but full-time? I should be able to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words per day. That's a lot. That's raw. After that, I'll still need to edit it. I usually end up with about half of what I originally wrote. According to our research, the standard number of words for the thing you need to write is between 50 and 100,000. That's right. But for this draft, I don't need to write that much. That is a pleasant information to hear. How many words do you need to write? Let's see. I think around 15,000 words. That's pretty big for a pitch draft. Well, it's GRA Media, the biggest publisher around. If we count based on the number of words, it seems like you will be able to achieve your target easily. I wish. Writing isn't only about the number of words, Neil. It requires things outside the mere word count. If we only judged writers by their ability to write a large number of words, then we wouldn't have poetry or short stories. That is pretty hard to understand, but we learned beforehand that art is a difficult matter, even for Earthlings. Yep. Earthlings seem to have a fascination for things which are hard to understand, from languages to arts. Right again. But you're not that wrong about writing, you know. Word count is one of the few things you can objectively judge a story by. It's not the most important thing, but it's still up there. So, it is still a valid parameter? Definitely. Cool. That didn't sound like you at all, Neil. I guess you really are learning something on Earth. Oh, another guest. Good evening, Miss Myrtle. I won't even ask. Except for one thing. Who's making the drinks? I'm still the one responsible for that. Good. Coffee with a little bit of ginger, please. Is that right? Your order is ready. Did you record my order properly? We relayed the order properly. We swear we did not mess the order up. I'm sorry, Miss Myrtle. It was my mistake. Please don't blame Neil for this. Huh. Shoot. Is that what she doesn't... Is that not what she gets usually with her ginger coffee? Oh. Oh, is it ginger milk? Oh. Whatever. What brings you here today, Miss Myrtle? Sneal, some people come to the coffee shop just to sit without being disturbed. Oh, that definitely seems to fit Miss Myrtle's visits here. Actually, I'm not here to just sit without being disturbed. Pardon us. I was just training Neil on how to talk with the customers here. I can see that. You're still trying to get laid? Oh, no, we are not. We are tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other? Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. One suggestion, if you want to blend in with us, stop using such formal language. Start talking the way we talk. Start listening the way we listen. Which essentially is not really listening at all. That would be very difficult to achieve, but we will try. Step by step. One small step for you. Might be one giant leap for your kind. That was nicely said, Miss Freya. By the way, Miss Myrtle, now that we know you are not here for your usual activities, are you here for someone then? Yeah. Oh, is it Aqua? Uh-huh. What's the occasion? No special occasion. It's just... I'm sorry. I'm late. I was supposed to leave early, but... What is this? What's happening here? I already told the barista to call the cops when he said he was going to breed here. Where is Amy? Miss Aqua, please relax. I'm here. Oh, you're safe. Yes, everything is fine. Okay. Please let me take a breath. Here, please drink this water. Feeling better now? Yes. I'm sorry. It is all right, Miss Aqua. Everyone has been surprised to see me here. What are you doing here anyway? We are starting to think that we might need to make a recording for the answer to this question. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. No problem, Miss Aqua. It is time for our break anyway. So here is the deal. That's really interesting. Very nice of you to do this, Amy. It's nothing, really. But do you really think one day is enough to learn everything? Definitely not. But we do not want to disturb this place's business for any longer. As if this place cares about business. Besides, we want to travel around the planet more. This coffee shop is a good start. But we cannot limit ourselves to just this place. Where do you want to go after this? Coachella. What? What are you going to do at Coachella? According to our research, there may be many breedings happening during Coachella. That is why we decided that the event will be our next target. Well, you're not wrong. But didn't you say the baby has to be born out of love? Yes, we noticed that. But we also noticed that we need to know a lot more about Earthlings, including the breeding manners. That is what we will study in Coachella. After that, we will be very ready to breed with so many female Earthlings. I shouldn't say this, but hell, that sounds like the best plan you've had since you got here. We know. We also surprised ourselves. But please, Miss Freya, let us stop talking about our plan. We work here today. First, let us return to our spot behind the bar. So our discussion with Miss Myrtle was stopped abruptly. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What are you two doing together? It's nothing. We're just friends, you know. We just want to hang out and talk about our work. We both work in the same field, remember? Yes, that's it. I don't have that much experience in game development, you see. I thought your research was in computer graphics? Yes, but I've never made a game from scratch before. I was always a bystander. So I've been asking Myrtle for feedback from time to time. Today I wanted to thank her directly, but she arrived first, so I couldn't buy her drink. Never mind that. I'd refuse it anyway. But... wait. If you want to thank her directly, does it mean you're done with the game? Excuse me, Miss Freya. It should be your, not your. Oh, so you are correcting my grammar now, huh? It was a slip of the tongue, okay? I'm sorry. How did you even pick up on that anyway? It's not like what I'm saying is written down anywhere. This is a bit meta. We just know. Back to you, Aqua. So you're done with your game? There's quite a lot of things I need to polish and fix, but players can enjoy the experience from start to finish. What kind of feedback do you give people for the video game? That depends on the game. But in Aqua's case, most of my advice was about the pacing control and the UI UX. Ugh. It must be fun to have finished working on your creation. It surely removes some of the weight on my chest, just to replace it with another weight. You mean there's still more to come after you're done? I'm not done with my book. I just lost my job. And if I can't finish this draft on time, I'm done. And even after all that, if it doesn't sell well, I'm even more done, doubly done. I'm sorry to hear that, Freya, but please be more confident. I'm even starting to doubt myself. I read some of your short stories, you know. After our first meeting, I subscribed to the Evening Whispers app, and then I read some of the stuff you wrote. They're really good, you know. Some of them are better than others, but it's still an enjoyable experience to read them. So I'm excited to check out your book once it's done. You're too kind, Aqua. What you're going through is more or less the same as what Myrtle's going through, so I'm sure you'll both be fine. Ugh. You don't have to talk about it in front of other people. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just that sharing is caring, you know. Okay. Thank you for helping me share with other people. I really am sorry. I know, I said thanks already, right? But you put so much emphasis on share. That's sarcasm, I know that. Aqua. I'm sorry if it sounded that way. But yeah, I kind of get what you're dealing with. Although it's a bit different for me. What's your problem? Burnout. I've been working on something for 2 years straight. But no one outside the office knows about it. And those who do don't seem to appreciate it at all. I thought Full Metal Conflict had a new game every 2 years? Yeah. I don't really work on them. Not directly. So what do you work on? A secret project. I'll tell your friend and I'll tell you under friend DA, okay? Alright, I'm not with the paper anymore anyway. I'm part of a special team. We're tasked with making a breakthrough in the studio. We need to be able to make a prototype for a new IP, or worst case, another FMC game in a different genre. Isn't that a dream job for some people? That's what I thought, at first. You're a writer, right? Imagine being a writer, but you can't publish anything you write. For years. That doesn't sound like a pleasant situation at all. My team has been making pitches, dozens of them, hundreds, thousands. Out of all those countless pitches, only a handful got approved for prototyping. And so far, none of the prototypes have been approved. Ouch. There's only 7 of us on the team. The 7 samurai, that's what they said. So you haven't released anything for the last 2 years? Sometimes our team works to support others. When they're going through a crunch cycle, they need to hit an almost impossible target. We jump in. No wonder you folks were considered the 7 samurai. I guess, yeah. By the way, Myrtle, I just realized. What? Usually developers get their vacation time after finishing a project, right? More or less, yeah. When was the last time you had a vacation? Before I joined this company, I guess. That's like 4 years ago. Uh-huh. Dude, no wonder you're so burnt out. Yes, that's why. You need a vacation. But I can't just take one. You can. In fact, you will do it tomorrow. But tomorrow is... I'm not done yet. You will take tomorrow, the day after, and another day after off. Where should I go? Don't worry, I'll take care of that. You will? I'm going with you for this long weekend vacation. What about Max West? That's not this weekend. Forget about it for now. Hey. Okay. But I can't do it tomorrow. How about starting Friday? It's still a long weekend getaway, right? All right. Oh, I'm so excited. Wow, Aqua. You look like a different person. Really? I'm sorry. Don't be. Okay, it's settled then. I need to go home now and prepare for our getaway. I'll come with you. To my apartment? No, we'll walk together to the bus stop just like last time. Oh, okay then. Everyone see you next week, okay? Have fun. Take care out there. May you find your joy during your vacation. Aqua totally just asked Myrtle out. Okay, see you folks later. Oh my gosh. Vacation, huh? You definitely need one, Freya. I know. But not now. I've got to finish this draft first. As we have said before, you can do it, Miss Freya. Thanks, Neil. Anyway, are you going to close anytime soon? Depends. Why? I'm in the mood for some writing. Then please, take your time. You sure? Do you want another drink to be going on with? Still on the house. I definitely won't say no. Oh, that was wholesome. Green spicy and not everyone's cup of tea. Like green tea with ginger and chili sauce. Friday, October 2nd, 2020. Oh my gosh, that was just recently. New, healthier Fury sedative might be available sooner. Action video game Rising Hell blamed for violence in school. The Evening Whispers is with people for stricter gun laws. Welcome. Good evening, Mr. Baileys. Evening. Am I the first customer tonight? You are? That's new. Freya's not here? She said she's coming later tonight. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends. Why not do it here? It's her favorite place, right? Her friends have visited this place from time to time, just not as much as her. Writers gathering, huh? I wonder what writers talk about when they're hanging out. I've known them for some years now. She has this habit, you know. If she says they're friends, it means they're just hanging out normally. But if she said they were writer friends, they're probably talking about work. Either giving each other feedback on their latest drafts or sharing and validating ideas. Interesting. They even use code words for meeting up. Oh, it's not like that. She doesn't even realize that's what she says. I just picked up on it. That's even more interesting. Are you always so observant? It's part of the job. Why is that? People come here every day. Some of them aren't as talkative as others, but their body language can be loud and clear. It can tell you a lot of things, whether they need a friendly ear or just want to be alone. It applies to what they're ordering as well. Because, you know, sometimes what people want is not what they need. That's deeper than I would have thought. So, what are you reading from me now? I won't say. Why? That would break the charm. The hell was that? I guess I can say this much. Whatever I say or do to our customers, it's always related to what I'm getting from their body language. Including our interaction now? Including our interaction now. Man, now I see why you didn't want to share. Even that was enough to make me feel like I'm naked in front of you. By the way, I haven't ordered anything. What are you having tonight? Hot chocolate with ginger and cinnamon. I heard that's a good drink for a bitter heart. Hot chocolate with ginger and cinnamon? There's no milk. Where? I don't have space for milk. I hope that's right. Seems like a weird combo. Here you go. You're a pretty romantic person, huh? Spending extra time decorating this drink. Only for special people and special drinks. Say, Amy, tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Anything. How old are you? Old enough to open a coffee shop? Oh man. I guess it's just sorry for asking that. It's alright. But that's the only answer I can give. Now you're making me wonder what I should ask next. Hello, everyone. Why are you both looking at me like that? Freya, you look horrible. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to echo our dear barista. Yeah, you do. What happened? You'd be better asking what didn't happen, because the answer would be proper sleep and any decent progress on my draft. You need to rest. And miss my deadline? Hell no. Sorry, Baileys. I won't be able to keep you company, because I have to finish this thing, and for that, I'll need a whole hell of a lot of espresso. Are you sure about that? You really should just rest and get something to help you sleep. Espresso! Please. What if I just gave her, like, hot milk? I don't want to do this. You really need to have a rest, Freya. Just give me the damned espresso. Okay. This will keep me from falling asleep. How was the meeting? It was pretty good. I got a lot of good advice, but that also means things, and not a small number of them, mind you, need to be rewritten. Oh. It's not that bad. Rewriting is part of the process. It's just I'm going to my usual corner. Thanks for your coffee. I might make it through the night. She looks horrible. She does. But don't worry about her. She'll finish it. This isn't the first time she's acted like this. No. But this time the stakes are pretty high. So, what brings you here today? I'm not even sure myself. I had no plan tonight, and this place just came to mind. Out of the blue. I'll have to thank you for your subconscious then. I guess you should. Lua! Not sure whether I should thank it or not, though. Hi, Lua. Hi, Baileys. How? You first. No, you first. I was just gonna ask, how are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. How about you? I'm good, yeah. I think I need to order something first. Oh, of course. Go ahead. Hi, Amy. What are you having this evening, Miss Lua? Gingerbread coffee, please. Oh, what is gingerbread coffee? Gingerbread coffee. Is it coffee with ginger and... What if it's coffee, ginger... Oh, ginger and cinnamon, maybe? Literally just guessing. That looks cute. Gingerbread coffee. Nice. Here it is. Thank you. My grandma used to make this drink for me. It reminds me so much of her. It reminds me of when I was growing up with my family. Oof. How's work? It's going pretty okay. You? I'm not taking any new jobs on at the moment because, well, you know. Yeah, I get it. You have enough in your savings, right? That's a very Lua thing to ask. But yeah, I do. Thanks to that last annoying job. It went well in the end? I kinda did. They paid me on time at least, and the pay was amazing. How long are you planning to take a break for? I don't know. Until my problems are settled, I guess. And what problems are those? I'll tell you this, but don't tell anyone, okay? Not even Amy, who's standing in front of us? Not even Amy. Okay. So there's this girl. I love her. We've been going out for a few years, but I'm not really sure where we stand now. How can you not be sure? We had an argument about a week ago. It wasn't anything new, but somehow things escalated uncontrollably. Why is that? I assume both of us were just tired, knowing that we're fighting against centuries of tradition. We haven't really talked since our last fight. Leaving things unresolved is not a good idea. But I can't bring myself to start the conversation. Why? Even I'm not sure about that. Pride, maybe? Or tiredness? Or knowing that chances are we won't be able to find the best solution for everyone anyway. Baileys, I have a question. Go ahead. What do you think she's feeling right now? To be honest, I don't know. She's not like me, that's for sure. Thankfully. Why? At least it won't affect her professional life that much. I'm glad I'm a freelancer. It means I can just take a break from work without so many problems. I'm not as professional as her, you see. I think you're wrong. Really? If I were her, I would find it difficult to live life as usual. But I'd put on a lot of masks, just to hide the feelings I was going through. That sounds difficult and uncomfortable. It is. But a friend told me once, you gotta do what you gotta do. He must be a pretty cool guy. He is. What's next for us, Baileys? I don't know, Lua. I met some new people this week. Including that supermodel. You knew? That girl in the corner told me. Yeah, including that supermodel. And how does it make you feel? Like a fool. What? He said a lot of things that I've been trying to avoid thinking about. A lot of truths. He's a bit like you know. Attitude-wise. You can get along with him. Doubt it. Opposites attract, but similarity breeds contempt. Ever heard of that before? A lot. From a certain hipster elf. And after listening to that guy, what's your stance on, us? I'm not sure, Baileys. What about you yourself? Had any similar experiences this week? I have, in fact. You met a vampire and I... Excuse me. You met a vampire and I met a werewolf. What are the odds? What are the odds, indeed? What did your werewolf say? Not much, to be honest. But he made a good point about the importance of family. Baileys, I know I've been stubborn about you wanting me to make peace with my family, and I know why that's very important for you. But Freya said something that kind of hit me hard. What was it? I was just using you as an excuse to escape my family, when I actually want to do that anyway. For myself. You know me, Baileys. I do. And you know how I feel uncomfortable with people leaving their families. Which makes me an asshole, I guess. I get why you think that way, Lua. Blood is thicker than water. What should we do? Lua. Yes, Baileys? Please let me leave my family. I'll try to get your family to accept me. That sounds like the easier thing to do after all. But you'll lose your immortality. You'll be an outcast among other elves. An outcast from a bunch of overly pretentious people? Sounds great. You'll live a long time, but you won't have the perfect health and perfect life that's elven privilege. But it's not perfect life without you. What if our relationship doesn't last? You'll have lost everything. You'll blame me. Lua, I will never blame you for anything. If we're talking about who I used to be, that guy would never have blamed himself. 100 reasons why for something failed, but never anything to do with him. But that won't happen to us. You know why? Because I've learned so many things by being with you for 10 years. It made me a better person. So you don't need to worry about any of that. Because right now, you're the most important part of my life. I don't need an immortal life. Because without you, it won't be a life worth living. Baileys, I believe in you. Aww. Lua. Baileys. I feel like we're living in a soap opera. It seems so. So what's our plan? Tomorrow's Saturday. Are we going on a date? I'm going to my parents' place. Oh. And I want you to come with me. What? That's so sudden. Did you already have plans for tomorrow? Well, no. It's just, I'm not prepared to meet them. You'll be fine. You don't want to tell them about this first? It'll be all right. Well, they never forbade you from dating other races? They're not big fans of elves, that much is true. But you can prove them wrong. Okay, this could be a good first step. It is. It's set then. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow, but we can think about it. And anything else later. I'm with you on that. So, does that mean you don't mind me? I had my doubts, but now I'm sure. I can trust you. Lua, thank you. Are you still staying at Farron's house? Yeah. You're staying with me tonight. Huh? What about your roommate? She's away for the weekend. Taking a long weekend getaway until Sunday night. Oh, Aqua! Fate is on our side, it seems. Hey, Amy. Yeah? We're leaving. Thank you so much for keeping up with us this past week. The pleasure was mine. We're off then. See you. Thank you for coming. Oh, that's such a nice resolution. That was pretty intense. Oh, you're back in the real world. I just pretend not to notice. They're like one of the main reasons why I'm writing this story. So I have to see their struggle through till the end. It's important for the writing, you know. That's cold. What? It's not like that. It's just that... Yeah, that was cold. I'm sorry. You look better than before, though. For now. I can't tell you how I feel until it's done. And I don't... Oh no. Oh no. What was the Fury sedative from before? Oh god, I haven't played this game in so long, I can't remember what it is. Okay. Rampaging werewolf, very good. Okay, what was the thing? Bitter heart, no, dark chocolate, warm, calming darkness. Should we do chocolate? Oh, savory bitterness, fresh and healthy drink from Morocco. We made one, didn't we? Russian tea despite an totally American drink. Originally from Malaysia, sweet and memorable. Like summertime blues. Ginger latte. I feel like it's gotta be... Shoot. Wasn't it like Russian tea or something? Wasn't it one of the teas that make it calm again? Maybe it's Taitarak. Is he a cookie monster? Whoa. Freya, get over here. This wolf? Is that him? I think so. Welcome, sir. Are you crazy? You can't treat a werewolf in a fury like a normal customer. Trust me, you must have a reason for coming here. Oh my god, I really don't. You can relax, sir. Do you need anything? Something to calm you down, maybe? Oh my god, if I do this wrong. What did he say before? I can't open my phone. I can't open my phone. Oh my god. What if it's chocolate, chocolate, chocolate? It's calming, right? It's calming? Do we die if I fail this? Coffee? Here's your... No, that's not it. That's definitely not it. He left. That wasn't right. That wasn't the right combination. What the hell? Is that really him? After seeing the reaction to the drink, 100%. Well, whoever he is. This place survived. Thankfully, yes. But I think I need to close up shop early. I don't want to cause any more ruckus, and I need to clean up some of the mess anyway. Good idea. Can you get back all right by yourself? I'll manage. Take care on your way back. You be careful too. See you tomorrow. See you. I totally gave the wrong. It's probably masala chai or something. No, it was like the tea turmeric maybe. I read an article about it. I can't remember this. Like from the previous information. Saturday, October 3rd, 2020. Weirdstein Company criticized for unfair depictions of werewolf in their latest box office hit. Coachella 2020 Do's and Don'ts. Atlantic ambassador in talks with Fire regarding immigration. Welcome. Good evening, Freya. Oh, hi. When was the last time you slept? I still sleep like a normal person, you know. I slept for 6 hours. Last night? No, I've slept for 6 hours this week. That's not healthy. Get some rest, really. I can rest when it's done. That's stupid. Oh, shut up. So what's your plan now? Now is in right at this moment? I'm planning to go to the bathroom and wash my face. I need to make sure I don't look like a dead woman walking. And after that, I'll continue writing. Freya. Oh, well. You know where the bathroom is. Okay, I need something to drink now. Freya, you're unemployed. Don't waste your money on coffee shop drinks. That is so weird coming from the coffee shop owner. I know. You've been a regular for years. If you only need the vibes of the place, just right here. No, I can't do that. You don't have any customers tonight. What would I do if this place went bankrupt? It won't happen. How can you be so sure? Just take this tap water and go do your work, okay? But... See? There's a customer coming right now. So don't you worry about me. What the? Rachel? What's going on? Ha! What else? Your father? Of course. What the hell was he thinking? Coming backstage at Coachella? Just to get into an argument with my manager? Huh? Before we continue, Amy, a cafe latte, please. Cafe latte. Coffee, milk. Latte art. I am not good at latte art. This looks like a heart, but like a scientific, realistic depiction of a heart. Okay, we're just gonna serve it. Your cafe latte's ready. Thanks. How did he manage to get backstage? He told security he was my father, and he messaged me about coming beforehand. Said he was just gonna wish me luck, so I told them to let him in, of course. He's still my father. Things were nice at first, then my manager came, and... I don't know why he hates him so much. It's showbiz. I'm mature enough to know what's good or bad for me. What happened after that? Mr. Lester told the security guards to kick him out. He's still allowed in the festival area. I saw him in the crowd. Did the concert go well, at least? Oh, yeah. Other than the arguments backstage, everything was great. I was the first one to play on the main stage. Usually no one pays much attention to whoever's on first, but there were thousands of people in the audience during my session. Nice. So you don't need to be at the event anymore after this? Not really. I did my stage time. And then there was this press conference after my show. After show press conference? Yeah, the pre-show one was done yesterday. Today was a small one. There were almost a dozen journalists who wanted to interview me, so we decided to just do a mini conference. Good for you. You're totally back in the game, huh? I guess I am. Thanks to Mr. Lester. I would say it's because of you, but your manager's probably worked some of his influence too. So why are you here? Because of Dad, of course. I told him to come here this evening. We really need to set things straight. He needs to stop messing with my manager so much. And because this evening is the only time we can meet, I can't go to the party Mr. Lester is hosting. What party? He's hosting a party for the VIPs and artists he managed at a club in Belltown. Is it okay for you to go to the party without a guardian? I'm 18, remember? I'm an adult. Yeah, but you can only enter some clubs if you're 21. Not this time, because Mr. Lester's my manager and it's his party. I'm not sure about that. It's true. No, I know you can do that by using his name, but I don't think you should do that with you. Why? I'm an adult. No, you're not, Rachel. Have you ever been to one of Mr. Lester's parties? Well, no. You have? Not personally, but I've heard stories. What stories? He knows how to party. That's good then. That's not necessarily a good thing. Knowing how to party might mean something else entirely. I don't know what you're talking about. You'll find out, especially if you keep Mr. Lester on as your manager. Personally, I don't mind wild parties, but inviting an underage person to his party, that might be a step too far. Huh? A cat? Meow. What the hell? Oh no! Dad! What? Rachel, is that Mr. Hendry? Yes! Dad! What happened? Amy, can you get a cup of milk for him, please? Just milk? Just milk. Meow. Is it okay that it's just like 3 milks? Here. Oh my god, he just poured it down on the... Thank you. Dad, please hold on. Can somebody help me call an ambulance, please? Okay. Let me call them. Thank you. Where are they? On the way. Hang on, Pops. This is taking forever. There they are. Finally, we're going. Oh boy, that was really something, huh? Yeah. 2 days in a row. An emergency at your place. Well, at least some people think of your place as their go-to when they need help. You're right. It's not every day you look at things from the bright side. Well, I'm one of your coffee shop disciples, right? So I kind of understand them. I hope Hendry's all right. Me too. At least he's in good hands now. What's your plan for the rest of the night? Well, that was all pretty hectic, but I need to continue writing. Take your time and place then. Will do. A sweet spicy chai latte from the town of Aden, Yemen. Okay, guys. So that is our return back to coffee talk before we start a new chapter. Thanks so much for joining us. Little hiccup at the beginning, but I hope you enjoyed some of my little bit of voice acting and some of the pretty fun storylines here. If you're watching from the previous 3 episodes, you'll already know what have happened to Lua and Baileys beforehand. But if you haven't had a chance to check out the previous 3 episodes, definitely do, because each of these characters have a storyline that you have to go through. So thanks so much again. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be back again next week with more cozy coffee talk. Thank you so much. Have a great week.